Hello, this is Mr. Tolbert's class biology. This is lesson number 2. This is Tolbert's class biology lesson number 2. Cell diversity. Not all cells are alike. Even cells within the same organism show enormous diversity in size, shape, and internal organization. You need to know this next one. Your body contains at least 200 different types of cells. You need to know 200 different types of cells. Cell size. A few types of cells are large enough to see by the unaided eye. You need to know that the female egg is the largest cell in the human body and can be seen without the aid of a microscope. You need to know it's the zygote, the human egg cell, the largest cell in the human body, can be seen without a microscope. Can cells be any size? Most cells are small for two reasons. Here's the first. Cells are limited in size by a ratio between their outer surface area and their volume. A small cell has more surface area than a large cell for a given volume of cytoplasm. This is important because the nutrients, oxygen, and other materials a cell requires must enter through its surface. As the cell grows larger at some point, the surface area becomes too small to allow these materials to enter quickly enough to hook up the cell's needs. The second reason is the nucleus. The nucleus can only control so much living cytoplasm. So there are two reasons. There's the ratio is the first reason, and the second reason is the nucleus is only so strong to hold off or to control so much cytoplasm. Cell shape. Look at these different shapes. Cell shape. Cells come in a variety of different shapes. Notice the neurons on the wall. The basic cells of the nervous system. This diversity comes and reflects the diversity of function. Most cells have a specific shape. Why a specific shape? The shape depends on function. You need to know cells have a specific shape because they have a specific function. Examples: cells of the nervous system carry information from your toes to your brain, are long and thread-like. Blood cells are shaped like round discs that they can squeeze through tiny blood vessels. What's on the inside? Internal organization. You have these little tiny organs called organelles. An organelle is a cell component that performs specific functions for a cell. Just as organs of a multicellular organism carry on the organism's life functions, organelles of a cell maintain the functions of that cell's life. There are many different cells. However, there are certain features that are common amongst all different cells. Let's look at them. The entire cell is surrounded by a membrane, the cell membrane. Large organelle near the center is called the nucleus. It contains the genetic information and controls the activities of the cell. These are two cells. One is a prokaryote, the other is a eukaryote. Prokaryotes are cells that were born basically before the nucleus. Pro means before, karyote means nucleus. Eukaryote is after the nucleus. Notice how much larger the prokaryote is than the eukaryote is than the prokaryote, because it has all these organelles. These organelles and membrane-bound deals is what classifies the difference between a prokaryote and a eukaryote. The presence or the absence of a nucleus is important for classifying cells. Organisms who contain a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles are called eukaryotes. Organisms whose cells never contain or lack a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles are called prokaryotes, before the nucleus. Unicellular organisms such as bacteria and other relatives are prokaryotes. We'll talk more on bacteria later. This is the end of lesson 2. The difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is such an important distinction that we have placed them in two separate kingdoms. One before the nucleus, eukaryotes, prokaryotes, eukaryotes after the nucleus.